Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Apple, Spotify, or iHeart, please go ahead and hit the 5-star rating and be sure to follow. And folks, we got lots to talk about today. We got some big updates around the crypto market structure legislation in DC, as well as huge altcoin adoption news with PayPal stablecoin, Ripple, Avax, Chainlink, Cardano, and much more. Let's get into it. Okay, folks, big updates around the crypto market structure bill. So as we all know, the markup that was supposed to happen today got postponed because we got a lot of banking lobby literature in the draft that is not great for crypto. Of course, Elizabeth Warren, who's controlled by the bankers, she's been, filing a whole bunch of amendments and all kinds of stuff going on. And of course, Coinbase and a lot of industry representatives backed out their support, saying we're not going to move forward with this. But as I said in yesterday's podcast, the sausage making here is ugly, but the end product will be good. It's just they're going to go back and forth, tick for tat, give and take. You guys know how it all works. This is not something unique to the crypto bill. This happens with most of the bills, or the majority of the bills. So here's the latest updates. Senate Democrats from both the Banking and Agriculture committees will meet with the crypto industry representatives tomorrow to relaunch talks on market structure legislation. So this is progress. Again, this is not uncommon. If this is your first exposure to what's been going on with legislation in DC, then this is not uncommon, right? And look, there is strong lobbying from the banks, but it's not uncommon. You do have back and forth with different legislation. Now, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong did a media tour today. He went on TV, talked about what's going on, what the banks are doing, and how the banks are not giving consumers proper interest, which they're not, right? You go to some of these banks, the basic savings, 0.01%, while you can go in Coinbase, Uphold, and these other exchanges and earn over 3%, sometimes over 4 or 5%, right? So the banks are keeping the majority of the profits for themselves. They get their big fat year-end bonuses, right? And Jamie Dimon sitting back laughing, of course, right? But they won't tell you that. They're just going to say, oh my God, these stable coins are so dangerous to the whole system. Yeah, it's dangerous to your bonuses. That's what it's dangerous to. But Coinbase CEO expects market structure bill markup in a few weeks. So essentially, he's saying a new draft will be ready in a few weeks for markup. So they're going to go back and forth, guys. Again, the sausage making here is ugly, but the end product will be good. And speaking of the banks here, Bank of America CEO warns interest-bearing stablecoins could pull $6 trillion from U.S. banks. So these banks are so funny. Like I said, it's about their bonuses. It's about their power because they are keeping the majority of the interest they're earning at the Fed, parking their money and giving you the breadcrumbs, right? And they get the big fat bonuses. So they're going to put out their narratives. They're going to spin it, right? We saw JP Morgan, I think the CFO, one of those folks also put out something about this. And all of them are going to come out and say, oh my God, these stablecoins. Yet, folks, Bank of America, Citi, and these other folks are working on their own stablecoins. They just don't want to give you the interest. They want to pocket it. So that's the game. It's not stablecoins. It's the fact that you can earn more outside of them because, again, they're pocketing all the money. So that is what is going on, folks. Okay, let's move ahead. Big news from Interactive Brokers. So Interactive Brokers unlocks 24/7 funding with Circle USDC, plans to roll out Ripple RLUSD and PayPal stablecoins, or the PYUSD stablecoins, next week. So huge adoption news here on multiple fronts. So Interactive Brokers, the major electronic retail and institutional brokerage, has introduced 24/7 accounting funding with USDC, a move that will unlock round-the-clock trading. Clients can transfer funds and begin trading within minutes while also reducing transaction costs, CEO Milan Galik said in a statement. The integration is powered by Zero Hash, a B2B crypto and stablecoin infrastructure provider backed by Interactive Brokers. Folks, if you know who Interactive Brokers is, then you know how big this news is. This is massive adoption here, folks. But, this is par for the course. We're seeing all the TradFi, massive institutional financial firms around the globe, stock exchanges, banks, investment firms, whatever they are, right? Credit card companies, they're all adopting crypto in one way or the other. So This is massive. And as mentioned earlier, they're going to include Ripple's RLUSD and PayPal's PYUSD early next week. So they're supporting all the major stablecoins. A bit more about Interactive Brokers. They were founded in 1978. They're an electronic brokerage firm and trading platform known for their competitive low fee offerings. The firm first offered crypto trading and custody services in late 2021 with four assets: Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash, through a partnership with Paxos and expanded support to Solana, Cardano, XRP, and Doge last year. So they're all in on crypto, folks. Now, Ripple's RLUSD is getting even more adoption. So they're partnering with LMAX exchange. I remember interviewing, I can't remember if it was the CEO of LMAX, but it was sometime last year. LMAX is pretty big. And they said here, RLUSD will be integrated as core collateral across LMAX's global marketplace, unlocking cross-collateral efficiencies across crypto and traditional markets. Huge news for Ripple. And of course, the RLUSD stablecoin is on the XRP ledger as well as Ethereum. So those chains will get the benefit of the adoption, the volume, the liquidity, and much more. Folks, this episode is brought to you by VeChain. VeChain is one of the top layer one enterprise blockchains in the crypto market. They've been around for a long time. I'm a VET token holder. I'm very bullish on this project. And VeChain is working with many brands and companies around the world to build cool Web3 technologies. So they've got 5 billion plus active users, 350 applications built, and they've been around since 2015. They're also partnered with Dana White in the UFC. And last year, Dana White, he highlighted that he purchased $1 million of VET token. So they're working with the likes of Walmart, BMW, PwC, Boston Consulting Group, and many more. Some of the key features of the VeChain blockchain includes its scalable, secure, fast, compliant, and purpose-led. And folks, once again, I am a VET token holder. I'm bullish on this project, and I love some of the cool things they're doing, such as rewards for doing for like recycling or using electric cars and charging and doing all kinds of things that are environmentally friendly. So there's a lot being built in the VeChain ecosystem, and you can also stake the VET token. They're doing this with the Stargate wallet. So be sure to check it out. Go to vchain.org. Link will be in the description. Okay, folks, we got big news from the CME Group. They're going to expand crypto features with Cardano, Chainlink, and Stellar contracts. So they're going beyond Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and Solana. Those already exist. And this bodes well for liquidity in the market for Chainlink, Stellar, and as well as Cardano, right? Because we've seen this we work out really well for Bitcoin. Now, I know some of you are going to say, Tony, they're going to short. Well, yeah, there's balance in the market. Unfortunately, we can't do anything about that. But there is a silver lining with more liquidity coming in and these assets being able to be traded by big institutions. So this is pretty big. Look at this news. Galaxy closes first $75 million blockchain-based loan deal on the Avalanche blockchain. Now, I am a Avax token holder. I have been for a while. It's not my biggest holding or anything like that, but I'm bullish on this project and they're getting a lot of adoption. So Galaxy Digital has closed its first tokenized collateral loan obligation, CLO, bringing private credit onto blockchain infrastructure. The deal, known as Galaxy CLO 2025-1, was issued on Avalanche and has financed roughly $75 million in loans so far, according to a Thursday announcement. The transaction is anchored by a $50 million allocation from Grove, an institutional credit protocol within the Sky ecosystem, formerly known as MakerDAO. Here is a quote: "By uniting our strengths in debt capital markets, blockchain technology, and asset management, we're opening up a new avenue for institutional engagement in credit markets, one that benefits from greater efficiency, transparency, and expanded collateral flexibility through on-chain execution," Chris Ferraro, President and Chief Investment Officer at Galaxy, said. Big adoption news here, folks. So you see the benefits of blockchain, why these firms are putting loans and the lending aspect on chain, because it makes things a lot easier, more efficient, and they can do a lot more and expand globally. So big adoption news here. Now, this is interesting. Bitmine to invest $200 million in YouTuber Mrbeast Industries. So Jimmy Donaldson is, of course, the guy who's behind Mrbeast, and Bitmine, Tom Lee's behind them, and they are a Ethereum treasury company, and they've been staking a lot of ETH, by the way. They've been locking up a lot of ETH, which is very bullish. So this is interesting. So Bitmine will make a $200 million equity investment in Beast Industries. And part of the deal includes some crypto items. So, as part of the deal with Bitmine, Beast Industries will explore ways to incorporate decentralized finance in its planned financial services platform, said Jeffrey Husenbold, the CEO of Beast Industries. So, we've heard different things over the past 6 months of Mrbeast and his company looking to launch some sort of financial platform that will include crypto. And if Bitmine, a crypto treasury company, is investing in this, they're going to push for something built on Ethereum. And that's clear by the language here of DeFi. So stay tuned. This could be really big. We know Mrbeast has a huge brand and huge following. He's got a lot of products and much more, the largest YouTuber out there. So if he's able to launch a platform that includes crypto, it's going to be a massive on-ramp to bring people into the Web3 ecosystem and even the adoption and investment of crypto. So this is pretty big. Look at this news. West Virginia lawmaker introduces bill to allow state crypto investments. So we've been talking about this over the past year. A lot of states have started investing in Bitcoin via ETFs, and they're looking to, others have been talking about establishing a Bitcoin reserve. So the bills are popping up in different states. Game theory is playing out here. So West Virginia State Senator Chris Rose has proposed legislation amending the state's code to allow the Treasury to invest up to 10% in precious metals, certain digital assets, and stablecoins. See where the puck is heading, folks? All the states will eventually do this. And of course, on the federal level, we know that ball is already rolling with Trump looking to establish that Bitcoin reserve, the digital asset stockpile, and much more. So things are moving ahead. SWIFT, the payments, the outdated messaging payment system, which, it's a conglomerate of the banks. They're trialing a euro stablecoin and tokenized bond payments with SG Forge. I remember years ago, people from Swift were like, oh, who needs blockchain? Whatever. Now we need to figure out stablecoins. We need to integrate blockchain. We know they're building on a layer 2 on Ethereum. The name escapes me right now. I think it begins with an L, but some of you in the comments section may know. But they're all in. They're all in, right? They recognize disruptions here. And of course, it's a combination of the banks, right? It's an institution formed by the banks, and the banks themselves are integrating crypto, as we've been discussing for a while now. So global messaging network SWIFT has tested Societe Generale's EuroPeg stablecoin as part of a collaboration aimed at improving interoperability between traditional financial systems and blockchain-based assets. Societe Generale's digital asset subsidiary SG Forge on Thursday announced it successfully completed the exchange and settlement of tokenized bonds in both fiat and digital currencies. The collaboration involved transaction in SG Forge's stablecoin Euro or EUR convertible EURCV. Wow, that's kind of complicated, which the bank initially launched on Ethereum in 2023. See what's happening here, folks? I hope you see what they. So this is why I hold ETH in my portfolio. Ethereum is getting adoption, right? So no feelings or emotions, just what is actually happening in the real world. And this is pretty amazing. Moving ahead, LSEG brings commercial bank money onto blockchain rails with Dish, DISH. No, not the movie satellite company. Some of you may be thinking it's different. So let me give you the details. The London Stock Exchange Group has rolled out a new digital settlement service to bring commercial bank money onto blockchain rails. Of course, guys, the dominoes are falling. Don't be super distracted by prices. I want the price to go up. Don't get me wrong. I got skin in the game. I got my portfolio. I want that to happen. But while the market is in this, corrective phase and we're still waiting for, a massive pump, look at the adoption that's happening. What do you think? All this is going to lead to higher prices, guys. So the service called Digital Settlement House, DISH, enables instant settlement across both blockchain-based and traditional payments networks operating around the clock across multiple currencies and jurisdictions, according to a Thursday announcement. At the core of the platform is Dish Cash, a ledger-based representation of commercial bank deposits rather than relying on stablecoins. The system uses tokenized claims on actual bank deposits, providing what LSEG describes as a real cash leg for foreign exchange, securities, and digital asset transactions. So they're building all types of technologies. Some are using stablecoins, some are using tokenized deposits, some are tokenizing assets. They're launching custody and trading services. They're integrating blockchain internally by building their own private permissioned blockchain, but they're bridging it to the public chains. They're doing everything, and it's happening across the globe, guys. I hope you recognize what's happening. Okay, moving ahead. Lemon launches Bitcoin-backed credit card in cash hoarding Argentina. So crypto exchange Lemon has launched a Bitcoin-backed Visa card in Argentina, letting users lock up Bitcoin as collateral to access peso credit lines without selling their coins. That's pretty good. Obviously, you want to do your research, make sure everything is copacetic there before you use it. But this could be very beneficial for the people of Argentina who have been dealing with hyperinflation for a long time. Although things are slightly turning around, Argentina got a big loan from the United States, I think 40 billion or something like that. So I'm assuming their economy might be better or turning around. But nevertheless, really big on ramps for crypto adoption being built across the globe. Blockchain firm eyes $200 million in tokenized water projects across Asia. This is an interesting one. Tokenization is going to be used in different ways, and not everybody's going to do the same thing. And certain regions and countries are going to, do things that are unique to their society and their environment and what's happening in their markets. So, blockchain infrastructure firm Global Settlement Network has announced a pilot to tokenize water treatment sites in Jakarta, aiming to eventually scale it out to the rest of Southeast Asia over the next 12 months with $200 million in tokenized assets. The initial pilot targets 8 government contracted water treatment sites in Jakarta for tokenization, aiming to raise up to $35 million for upgrading and facilities and expanding the water network in the area, according to a statement on Wednesday. As part of the initiative's phased rollout over the next 12 months, GSN and its partner Global Asia Infrastructure Fund plan to test Rupiah stablecoin settlement rails in controlled corridors and then scale up to additional foreign exchange corridors. This is the amazing, amazing benefits of tokenization. You put it on there, it's running 24/7. You can expand it to across the globe, get more liquidity, get more investors, more participants, and much more. And, while this is happening, let's say on a business or institutional level, eventually you and I will be able to tokenize certain things that we have, obviously through a trusted platform. So, we make sure people are not getting scammed. And we could potentially tokenize our house, certain rare artworks or collectibles, and be able to do the same thing, open up to a bigger market and participate in DeFi. Now the infrastructure is not there yet. We got to get crypto legislation, and we got to get the big institutions to build the infrastructure so that we can do these things, guys. And it's going to be interesting because you could see entrepreneurs tokenize themselves. They come with an idea. They don't necessarily have to go to Shark Tank anymore. They can put themselves out there in the DeFi Web3 world, raise capital that way, and people who invest, they get shares, right? So you have the crowdsource aspect. So I think that's absolutely coming. So people who have new ideas, they obviously have to pitch it. It has to be a good idea, and you can take that bet. So that will be the future. So again, kind of the Shark Tank model, but on chain and with a global reach. Okay, final news item, more bank news. So Belgium's second largest bank, KBC, to become the first bank in the country to offer Bitcoin trading. So this is going to happen in mid-February, guys, of this year. All the banks, all the stock exchanges, all the credit card companies, all the payment companies, all the big financial firms, all getting involved. What do you think is going to happen as they start launching and there's all this activity on chain and the buying and selling and the trading and the usage of this technology? The valuations, the prices are going to go up. You just got to be patient. You got to have the macro outlook. We are seeing some of the most incredible adoption news in crypto ever. We are at an incredible stage. I know some of you, because you want to make money, I understand how you feel. The markets do get affected by the macro and liquidity and all these, like we've been talking about. So you got to be patient. It'll eventually catch up and all these things will be priced in. Folks, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button. And please support the podcast by subscribing to my free email newsletter. It is 100% free. Link will be in the description. I will be putting out a write-up tomorrow, so you don't want to miss that, guys. Putting a lot of charts and data and information in there so I can give you the latest and greatest on what's happening in the market, what I expect. And, for some of you, it might be easier to understand it by, taking your time to read through the newsletter and, trying to spread the education, guys, so we can be educated, informed investors. So please subscribe. Again, it's 100% free. It's on Substack. Also, you can grab a copy of my book on Amazon to support me, guys. The book is available in paperback and digital. And if you want to expand your knowledge about crypto, guys, I have a comprehensive course at mycryptocourse.com that teaches you everything you need to know about crypto. So please check it out. It's a one-time fee. You get lifetime access and you can go at your own pace. And it's packed with tons and tons of value and content. So check it out at mycryptocourse.com. Folks, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.